Hello, hello, hello. We are live.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever you're calling from. You're welcome to this year job getting remote job tech conference, which is an African conference where we come to meet technology and try to embrace technology to be able to achieve greater heights. Um, my name is Oluwaseyi Oluwawumiju. Please don't try it. It's tongue twisting. Sometimes I'm the longest name in most events you see. And I hope I'll be able to take you through this tunnel in the next 30 minutes, where we'll be exploring hidden opportunity with Microsoft Azure and couple up with Microsoft AI offering from Microsoft. Just a brief introduction of myself before we start the ride. My name is Oluwaseyi Oluwawumiju. I'm one of Microsoft most valued professional from Africa. I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer, and I lead the team of Microsoft trainers in West Africa. I am a consultant. I have experience cutting across several sectors, and I've been doing that for some few years, like 20 years. And I'll be your anchor today. I lead so many leader group in West Africa, especially in Nigeria, where we try to pioneer the use of Microsoft technology as a means of empowering people from the grassroots. So, so getting to what our expectation would be, I tap it into three different areas which I am expecting everybody to get from my talk in the next 30 minutes. One, that Azure and Microsoft AI is usually untapped when we come to the potential in Africa. Now, Africa has been a call out for the past few years, for the past 6 years now. We notice so many people. Now, have you ever asked yourself, especially in Nigeria, despite the fact that we have a very, very good, I don't want to use the negative word of our government, of our environment, you still find people still coming to invest in Africa, and especially in Nigeria and West Africa. Why is that? Why are we still having people coming, even with all the slam of controversy all around us? But still, that shows us, and that indication make us have this understanding that there's still potential here. And that is why I'm saying there's some untapped potential that we can gain from Microsoft, especially when you use the offering of its organization has come to stay in Africa, and several of them require a way by which they can optimize their work, ensure they have speedy delivery. And to do that, they need something like an environment that can make them to do it. And that is one expectation I'm going to let you to know, and to help you to understand that in that particular field where we have such opportunity, we can leverage on it and actually use that to get yourself onboarded with a very strategic job. And in terms of creativity, in terms of boasting what we have and adopting technology, we still have a long way to go in Africa, and that's an opportunity for somebody that actually is in the tech space. Now, computing AI is a revolution, and whether we like it or not, this has come to stay. Now, it's now the issue we have right now is not about where you are from or where you reside. The context of technology today is that everybody is on the same playing ground, the same level. Whether you are from the branch of Bauchi or from a village in Adamawa, or you are from Lagos, or you are from Milan or probably from London. The question is the skill you have in a remote site is a skill that promotes you, not just your location. So we are now in a global village that gives everybody an entitlement mentality. Everyone has a potential. So we are seeing this from the Microsoft perspective that we have so many opportunity out there. How we leverage on it is why we are here. So I have just a few minutes to wrap up this, and my four goals here. One is to tell you about digital transformation generally, what has happened in the world, why are we where we are today, and I'm going to bring my drive through Microsoft's own window to be able to enlighten us about what it takes for us to be able to actualize this skill. Because if you don't understand why you need the skill, you might not be able to understand the opportunity that is right before you. Then we're going to look at some hidden opportunity. We start from the Azure cloud. Now, Azure is Microsoft's own offering for cloud technology, where for now, Microsoft came in some years back and they are the second leading, if not first, in terms of the market share in terms of cloud offering all over the world. Then we are going to look at other things that we can also set our minds on. That means looking at the trend that we have now, which is the AI. AI is artificial intelligence. What are the hidden opportunity we can have through that offering on Microsoft? Then finally, we're going to look at some real world application. I'm going to talk you through it. Then I'll give room for question and answer. So, digital transformation. Now, sorry if you have been in my talk, I always bring this lady here. She's a professor, and her name is Professor Chika Eziobo. And Chika Eziobo was actually giving a tech talk sometime somewhere in the US. And when she was emphasizing on the pathway to be able to be adaptive to things that are crucial in life. He was trying to compare how education was brought to Africa, how adoption took place, and how long it took. Now, in her submission, she made it emphatically clear that most times, while we have so many gaps in terms of how Africa are actually being onboarded to education, was because the Europeans brought education to us, bringing their own culture, their own things as a leverage to train us. For example, if I'm in a class and somebody tell me A for Amala, it is very easy to stick because I eat Amala. I'm the western side of the Yoruba side. That was what Chika Izobu was saying. But when they came, they brought with A for apple. So throughout my talk here, I'll try to bring some adaptive scenario here that probably is very familiar if you're in Africa. I don't know where you are calling from, but I'll use my own scenario as a measure, as a map for which you can understand what I'm saying. So, a popular saying by a very great man, blessed memory, Nelson Mandela, he said, in the future we are looking at, the two things he believed in before he died, and one of them is that he will never lose. All he needs to do is to be able to be at the forefront of change and also never lose, but to always keep learning. So, in the age we have, we're in an age where learning and relearning is one skill that you cannot erase. And until you have that understanding, I tell you, we are in a volatile cloud era where things are constantly changing, things are constantly brought into perception. And for you to be able to get yourself out there, you must be always ready to acquire skill. Because the job market is no more segregated to someone in Europe or segregated to someone in South Africa. Everybody with a skill that have a technological skill can play out there. So now let's bring all these things together. What am I saying? I'm saying now, just like Turner Test said some times ago when he was trying to compare the artificial intelligence to human, and he was saying that in order to bring intelligence into a convergence, most technology try to adopt human sense of thinking, human sense of understanding to pilot the artificial beings. That means even in AI environment, in an artificial environment, you are a focus here. Nobody is taking your job. People feel that when AI come into place, that most job will lost. Yes, if you are not relearning, like what Mandela said, but if you are constantly there, because the generative AI that we have here and other AI that is going to come out are actually prompting professional technologies to be able to prompt them to direction on how to actualize the skill. So in terms of skill set, we are in a time that we need to make a choice. Just as you can see here, we have several painting here. We have the green color, we have the yellow color, we have the white color, the blue color and the red color. Each of them lead to a room, and each room lead to a destination. Whether you're in a data space, you need to now start acquiring skill. There are several things you can acquire in data space. You can be an analyst, you can be a scientist, you can be someone that use data, you can be someone that be in the infrastructure to get this data and place it there for people to be, because data now is now literally being used as a service. So these are skill set you can actually arrive at. So it's either you play this ball this way, you are like someone that want to go into the house and buy the house, or you be like someone that want to buy a land and build on that land, and that will take an extensive time from you. So each time we look at this, what we should know here that in the era we have a balance here. And that balance is that technology is actually the balance, the pilot to the next digital revolution, which we are now. And this is an AI revolution. And everybody have the right to play out here. So that's why you see so many things that OEM is pointing out, especially Microsoft, giving you challenges, ensure AI challenges to ensure you are all onboarded on this opportunity, which I'm going to reflect on before I close this afternoon. Now, everything that has happened in the past, from the time of printing press right down to automobile revolution, to internet, down to internet in 1980, going to the cloud in 2020. Now we are in the AI. The AI scenario is a scenario where everybody just need to acquire skill. So the first thing you need to do to place yourself there as a way by which you can be attractive, make sure that you acquire skill. Now, several things is happening. The way collaboration is being done now, no more in those days everybody be confined to a particular environment to make our work done, but you can work from anywhere, because collaboration is you having a remote environment to be able to work. In the past, file sharing was a pain, but today file sharing is no more. Today I'm talking to you through StreamYard. You might be somewhere in the US, somewhere in Europe, somewhere in Africa, somewhere in Port Harcourt, but the truth is that we are all coming together. People need to acquire skin on that space to be able to bring most people, especially industries, SMB, to be able to have a way to leverage with this new era, which is an era that is digitally inclined. We also see that resources are dispersed all over the world now. No more shall we say that we are confounded in a place. No more shall we say before we get things done, we have to travel. You can have access to any information out there from your computer. Now, all this make us to see that there's a revolution, and that revolution is saying here today, as you are listening to me, that you are the person. No more in those days that technology is sided to one place. Technology is about people, you, I, everybody that is listening to me. We are supposed to now begin to look from our own perception. I am Am I a secretary? What should I do to be able to get into this new era? Acquire skill, get into computing. Not only get into computing, try to acquire skill to be able to understand how to leverage what you have. With your people understanding, you can use the technology as a balance. Every industry now is saying technology is their pilot, and you are the person that is running the show. So everybody has it, because the way things are now, everything is focused on the woman. You can see we are all focused here. Everybody is here. Human needs revolve to technology, which brings innovation. And that innovation brings it's done. So generally, there's an amplification all over the world. You, I, everyone need to have this understanding. We have the power in our hand. Wherever you find yourself, there is a room to change. There's a room to be adaptive. There's a room to cut from where you are to skillful area. In security, a lot of opportunity in Africa. We have less security professionals in Africa. How do you leverage on that? Get those skills, put yourself out there. And I can tell you, most story I've heard, most success story are built on people that are be able to get those skills and get themselves out there. The world has changed. So if you are still in the old age, you must know that there's a new way and there's an old way now. Now the task is, how do we adapt to this? Now, several industry has looked at cloud technology, which why we are looking at some hidden word scenario there that makes it very important. One of them is that it's scalable. That means if I acquire the skill, I'll be able to get my customer, people that work for me, people that want to employ me, to scale, people that want to innovate in their businesses. Every startup can come up and start their business. You can have cost revolution. It takes around enhancing what all these are, like 9 reasons that can make you to look at it and say, I am going to get involved. Because today we have an enhanced security, we have flexibility in terms of use, in terms of scaling, we have multi-service offering that we have over there, and we have this continual growth that we have in this cloud and AI industry. So I can tell you, several things is happening. You can see all this is facing out, and we are looking at an era that can justify several billions of dollars. So this is from the year Microsoft got into the cloud. You can see a huge amount that has been spent on the use of Azure and building services on Azure from 2017 to 2022, where this statistic was got. We have over 70, almost $80 billion that have been invested all over the world. And this is like a big cake, a national cake, a worldwide cake that everybody can buy from, not only someone in the US. And you can see from where this industry emerged from, right from retail down to hospitality to real estate. Everybody is involved in this revolution. That means wherever you find yourself, the first thing you need to know where you are. Once you know where you are, start adapting to change. Start adapting to new skill. And once you have that, you now begin to play out from any of these industries. So every industry is involved in the cloud revolution. Every industry. So now let's begin to look at some opportunity in Azure. So now, one thing about Azure, we're going to look at it from 2 different perceptions. One, as someone that want to build solution. Now, Azure has been created in the past to be able to enhance the use of uh, change that comes from your on-prem environment to the cloud environment. Now, the on-prem environment bring you to certain perception, and one of the perception you have from the on-prem environment is that all investment is capital intensive. Every money you need to buy a new server. Any application you want to develop, you need to bring it down there. You need to pay for space if you don't have an office space, and all this require huge amount of investment. Well, Azure on its own has now brought a way where you can manage this cost, where you can actually pay for service as you go. And once you pay for that service, what it means is that there's opportunity for you to innovate. That means whether it's a small business, a large business, or someone that you need to talk to and tell him that if you come to Azure, I can develop your environment. A tester, someone that develop application can play out in this field. Someone that is used to automation because of the dynamics of what we have in Azure. It's easy for you to onboard people. That skill is also necessary because there are several industries in this country that are actually still using the primitive way, and you need to onboard yourself to begin to tell them that you have the skill of this automation. Then you can have other things like security, which is like an entrance in the past. But when you enhance with the Azure environment, you can have yourself there as one person that is required. So an example is what we see. This is statistics that happen in the banking industry in Asia, and you can see the growth, what digital transformation, cloud onboardment has brought into it from 1.3% in 2015 to 6.5. Although the banking system was revolutionized, people start working. There are so many banks now that don't even have infrastructure, they don't have building, but they are effectively working, they're effectively delivering. So what it means is that you are in an era that you can't actually get into any skill set that is in the cloud enable and get yourself out there and get a job. Now, we're going to look at the AI side. Now, one thing we have to understand is that significant change happened when AI has been around for a while, but several things was onboarded. And this now brings us to a point where I always talk about when I make my presentation, that there is a need for prompt engineers. Now, in every field now, for example, ChatGPT came in, but ChatGPT is not a master-brained AI solution, but is a master-brain solution that needs someone to prompt him, that needs someone to enhance on the data he is mining for you, that needs someone that will be able to guide you through ability to be able to use what you have. And with Microsoft involving in OpenAI, they brought a lot of things in. You can now build solutions through machine learning, high scale, not just minute scale. Whether you're a small business or you want to enlarge your business, you can actually use this. Then you have cognitive service that are out there creating solutions that can help you to, like the cameras, that can help you to pick information on the road, creating solutions that can help you as an insurance man to create a solution with insurance policies, and they can actually get your car insured or anything insured at the time. So these are where you can also play. Now, Microsoft now brought something we call Copilot. Now, Copilot is a scenario why, now I use an example of if you have ever flew to any airline. Now, one thing you have to understand about airline is that once you're about to go in, there are certain people that welcome you, talk Now, the pilot actually is the one running the show. The co-pilot is the supporter. So the scenario of this generative AI is an hidden truth that tells us that as you want to use AI application, you need to direct that AI to know what to do. And that gives you an advantage if you become an engineer. Everybody can play in that field. That means you begin to help AI to generate direction, to prompt. Now we are saying that very soon, coding will be seamless with Copilot, because with GitHub, even though when I'm zero in coding, I go to GitHub and I use my Copilot, I can generate a code and I can test that code and I can use that code. And that code will be perfect, because once I prompt the service of the AI give me information that can give me a prompt direction to use. Now you can imagine when you scale this set, you can imagine when you have this skill, how many people will be looking for you all over the world. So also we have other things like bot services, conversation to AI, and all these things are making us to see that we are in an era that change has come. Now, take a little step because of my time. When you go to the healthcare sector, the healthcare sector now is now being pioneered by the use of AI. Now, currently, most advanced hospitals all over the world are deploying AI as a means of communication, deploying AI as a means of rendering their service to their customer or their patient. Now, this tells you that that is a minefield for anyone, anywhere in the world, to be able to build his capacity and enjoy the services that you can get from there. So if you are looking at the health sector, you start looking into areas that you can build capacity on how to streamline the health sector, how to improve the automation system in your hospital. And when you acquire that skill, that makes you a unique person that cannot be avoided. Now, other things that we are looking at that is trending, which give us to bring us to the as I talk about the real world scenario, is in terms of embracing this vast technology, whether you are in the retail side where you want to build retail structure that can help you to improve your services, or you're already there and you want to get skill. When you have such skill in AI, it can improve it. Now, even in the data sector, whether you are from oil and gas, that is a mine of data. You can use the AI embedded in these services to improve the way you acquire the flow of your oil or flow of your gas. I was talking to a startup recently. She wants to go to a gas industry, and the gas failed, and she got the gas. And I was asking her, I said, there's a lot of way by which AI can help you here. Now, with Copilot, you can actually help your system using what we call Microsoft Power Apps. Using your normal phone, I don't have to be a very skilled programmer. I just need to use Power App. With Power App, I create an app for you. Once the receipt comes, you take the receipt of the person that is buying, you capture it, you take the time it's being captured, the date, the gas meter, and immediately you send it to him, to her, which she's the owner, to be able to monitor her sale anywhere she is in the world. And that is the era we are, an era where time cannot be subjected, location cannot hold you down, where you are coming from cannot take away what you are. So, in nutshell, what I say, what I am promoting here is that you have the capability to go into this. First of all, check yourself. Try to acquire skill. Once you acquire the skill, you look at the skill set you want and ensure that the skill set you want is what you build for yourself, and you run it, and that will help you to be able to understand what you want and how you want to get along with it. So this is the hidden truth that we have in the world. AI has come to stay. You need skill to be able to onboard, and you're in a competitive world, and you're in a level playing ground anywhere in the world to acquire this skill and to get yourself out there. There are jobs out there that require someone that want to take this decisive decision and be intentional on how he wants to go about it. I think my time is up. I'll just stop here if I've not gone beyond time, to see whether there's any question for me and I can take that.
Yes, there are questions for you. The
Okay.
first question, the first question is from Reja Roberts. What is the effect of data protection on working remotely from Nigeria as it concerns regulations like General Data Protection Regulation? So, what is the effect of data protection as it concerns regulations like General Data Protection Regulation?
Data protection actually emerged from the European, and we know that when it was launched, it affected everybody in the world. And recently, Nigeria has a national data protection policy in the recent place, which have put in place, which also help to protect you from any things that is actually defining the direction of this policy. So Nigeria has something in place. Now the question is how effective it is. I've not tested it out, but we have it out there. But we know that the GDPR, it's out there and it changed a lot of sequence of things. Now, if you have such thing in place, what it means is that your profile, your information is kept, and it cannot be abused or it cannot be exploited. And I think most remote job have that. If you are going for those that are registered one, those that have proper how do I call it, proper testimonial or testimony, then you see that you are protected from their end, and you also are guided from the government, but you have to read that law to be able to understand it. I hope I answered the question. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I think we can hear you, the moderator. Are you here, the moderator?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you,
Okay,
but
okay.
I can't hear the moderator again.
Yeah, I hope he's still alive, though.
I think he's having a challenge with the network.
All right, so thank you very much, Mr. Oluwaseyi. And just like we discussed in the group, I'll probably have to reach back to you because I'm pretty sure that there are tons of people who are very much interested in Microsoft Azure, and with the whole AI thing coming up now, there are a lot of people who want to know how they can leverage Microsoft Azure and how they can really get to build their skills and of course make a lot of money from it. So thank you so much for this. Please let's keep in touch. And for those who have questions, please keep them coming. We would forward them and keep them for Mr. Oluwaseyi. So our next speaker is going to be Julia Marcellus. I think Ifeanyi is back. Oh, so that means he is not dead yet.
I am not actually. Okay, I'm back. I had issues with my internet, so I'm back. Okay,
All right.
so our next